everyone, Primer here and welcome to another Armored Warfare tank review. Today we are going to be taking a look at a rather unique premium vehicle. This tank is of course the K1A1 Tier 7 Premium main battle tank. I will be telling you everything you need to learn about it so you can decide for yourself if it's something worth getting, and if you have no interest in picking it up, I will show you how to fight it effectively on the battlefield, so stick around for that. The K1A1 is an upgraded version of the older South Korean K1 MBT. It's a very distant relative to the Abrams MBT, with the main difference being the presence of a hydropneumatic suspension, allowing the vehicle to tilt itself forward and backward, and unlike the Type 90, to the sides. As of the time of making this video, the only ways to obtain this tank is by either completing the Arabian contracts in-game, which rewards you with 1 loot crates per 3 contracts completed, or by purchasing them for gold directly from the web shop. The latter option is a rather limited one and will only be available until the 1st of January 2019. The loot crates will drop parts for the K1A1, K1A1 upgrades modules, a unique skin, or even the vehicle itself. After unlocking the K1A1, you will be able to install the upgraded modules on it, providing you collected enough parts of them of course, which will significantly enhance the vehicle's performance on the battlefield. The K1A1 takes advantage of an interesting ability that is only found on AFVs and some light tanks, which is the ability to designate targets, keeping them spotted for a limited amount of time, and having them receive maximum damage roll from every hit that penetrates their vehicles during that time limit. In addition to that, the K1A1 can depress its gun up to 14 degrees thanks to its hydropneumatic suspension. Now, let's compare the K1A1 to all of the other Tier 7 MBTs that currently exist in Armored Warfare and see how it stacks against them. For the sake of making it simple and keeping this video short, I will only compare it to the average and highest values of the Tier 7 MBTs, and I will also show the difference between a stock and a fully upgraded K1A1 module-wise. Keep in mind that none of the tanks being compared has any retrofits or consumables, and they all have similar crew and commander stats and skills. Alright, so looking at the damage and numbers, we see that the K1A1 has 580 alpha damage, which is a hair above the average 579, but certainly not the highest alpha at Tier 7. The penetration is looking great at a Leopard class 700mm, which is 36mm above the average, but not enough to beat the Sabra or the horrible M62000. For the damage per minute, we get to see a 20% difference between a stock and an upgraded K1A1. The upgraded one has 4076, which is about average, and for the reload time, the upgraded K1A1 reloads in 8.54 seconds, which is a tiny bit faster than the average reload of a Tier 7 MBT. For hit points, the upgraded K1A1 gets 400 extra, making it way above the 3075 average HP of a Tier 7 MBT. As far as armor values go, we will not consider them here as they are meaningless, but we will take a closer look at the vehicle's armor in the Armor Inspector. Skipping ahead to the mobility, the K1A1's top speed is 1 km/h slower than the average, but the acceleration of the upgraded K1A1 is better than average. Hull traverse is right about average, and so is the camo rating. The view range of the upgraded K1A1 is the highest among all Tier 7 MBTs, allowing it to spot its target with no issues at all. The gun depression is really good with maximum of 14 degrees with the help of the hydropneumatic suspension, but not the best, as that title goes to the Type 90 with its jaw-dropping 17 degrees of gun depression. Gun accuracy is below average, but the aim time for the upgraded K1A1 is best in class with 1.42 seconds, while the turret traverse of the upgraded K1A1 is a touch above average but not the best. Also, a couple things worth mentioning about the upgraded K1A1 is that the enhanced maintenance kit module increases the internal module repair speed by 30% and their hit points by 15%. Additionally, the improved target tracker module will increase the target designation time from 20 to 30 seconds. Now, let's take a look at the armor and the Armor Inspector to see how effective it is. I will be comparing it to the average penetration value of a Tier 7 MBT, which is 660mm. At 100 meters, a shot at the lower front plate has 50% chance to go through it, while the mid plate has a 33% chance, Angling it downward a bit will make the lower front plate an auto bounce, but the mid plate will become even more exposed. The turret ring is not really there, and the turret cheeks can be penetrated if they are not being pointed at you, with a little bit of a weak spot at the very edge of the turret cheeks. Side angling like this will greatly increases the armor effectiveness, but make sure not to overdo it because it will expose your side armor. If the K1A1 is on a ridgeline and is using its gun depression, then its armor will be in a great shape, but the lower plate will be butter smooth if exposed. Shaped charge ammunition will easily punch through the upper plate due to the higher angle tolerance that heat shells have. But the real killer of the K1A1 is the HESH ammunition. Check this out. The entire lower plate is green and so is the upper front plate at a very wide angle. So if you run into a K1A1 and you have HESH loaded, then you will have no issues dealing with its armor at all. My recommended setup for the vehicle includes an energy drink, since the K1A1 has a loader which will take advantage of it, improved gun breach for more DPM, augmented optics for more view range, and improved filter systems for the final retrofit slot. Or if you'd like, you could swap out the filter systems retro for more accuracy or even more view range to become the ultimate Scout MBT. For the crew, I decided to go with accuracy and acceleration for the driver, accuracy and aim time for the gunner, and reload and repair speed for the loader. But that's quite enough theory crafting. Let's go check out how this vehicle performs on the battlefield. So here we are on Pipeline's Assault in a Tier 8 match, and we are on the attacking team. I am in a platoon with a Spishak, and both of us are in the K1A1. His is fully stock, mine is fully upgraded, so we will see if that will make any difference. As I'm pushing toward the I-5 ridge, you get to see the above average mobility of the K1A1. Going up slope, it's not too bad, but unfortunately, while I was getting into position, Spishak got hit by several ATGMs from the enemy team, and he is out for the rest of this match. I'm trying to look for a shot on that Abrams behind that rock, but the weasel that took down Spishak got spotted, so I put a shot into him. He gets spotted again, but I don't have a shot on him, so I decided to start working on that Challenger by shooting at his lower plate. I get spotted again and I bounce another missile from that weasel. I fired blind hoping that I could take him out, but we don't manage to connect. Thanks to my 700mm of penetration, I am having no issues dealing with that Challenger even when he presents his lower plate at an angle to me. I take down that Challenger there as he tries to peek that corner, and now I'm considering moving to where that Challenger was to deal with the remaining MBTs on this flank. They are only tier 6 MBTs, but what's behind them is what's concerning me. That T-72B3 on my team is being really annoying and is not letting me help him, so I decided to jump in front of him to deal with the enemy MBTs and get this done quickly. And that was the turret cheeks of that tier 6 Abrams that we just went through. That's what a 700mm of penetration can do at tier 7. We bounced a couple shots there, but I get the tracks back up, and now I am just going to finish that Abrams and continue pushing this flank. That weasel gets spotted again, and I tried to look for a shot on him, but I couldn't find it, so I decided to keep pushing up. While doing that, I look to my left and there is a Type 90, a very important tank to take out on the enemy team. So I try to put one shot into him, but I don't manage to connect, so I decided to designate him while I wait on my reload so he stays spotted until the time runs out. Now I connect with a second shot and I'm trying to angle my armor against him, thinking that he might return the favor, but it doesn't look like it. I'm still looking for more shots on him as he is a priority target for me, but it looks like that he got safe and now he's going back up again, so I put another shot into him and he falls down to the fox on my team. And now it's time for me to start pushing up toward that J9 camping area to clear it out. My team is doing well and that striker gets spotted. I'm moving up toward him, he is not even looking at me, and I managed to pick up my third kill for this match. That pesky weasel tries to shoot me again, but my track stopped the shot. And the enemy fox gets spotted, and I pick up my fourth kill for this game. And now it's just a matter of cleanup, so I push down and head toward the last surviving enemies on the enemy team. I shoot that 7C while on the move and I managed to hit him, and now I'm just looking for revenge on that pesky weasel. As I turned that corner, I took a penetrating hit from him, but that's fine because I managed to get the kill on him and get my sweet, sweet revenge. Not a super long match there, but we managed to deal 7,800 damage and pick up 5 kills, including that annoying weasel on the team that managed to take out Spishak at the beginning of the match. And our armor managed to block 5,000 damage, which is enough to kill this K1A1 1.5 times over. Now, is this tank worth it? Well, it's certainly a unique one. But to get mine to become fully upgraded, I had to buy 500 loot crates for 40,000 golds to collect all the parts that are needed for its upgrades. And even after opening 500 loot crates, I never got that unique skin for it because the drop from the crates doesn't seem to be weighted. Also, I did end up with a bunch of useless extra upgrade parts and 2.5 more of the K1A1 itself, all of which can only be sold for credits. It is a really disappointing thing considering how much I had to spend on it, and it would have been nice to either get some gold back or trade these extra parts like on the RU region. So keep these things in mind if you are going to buy your way through it, you have been warned. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to leave a like on it. If not, then you know where the other button is. And if you have any more questions regarding the K1A1, please feel free to leave them in a comment down below and I will try to answer them for you. And finally, get subscribed so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming Armored Warfare videos. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.